Welcome back, my new and existing work from homers. I'm Shortcut Sherry, and I've been inspired to do a series of videos to help you work more effectively from home now that we're all kind of forced into the remote mode. In this video, we're going to focus on Microsoft Teams and the conversations within. Why? Because they're more efficient. To share with you why you should be using conversations in Teams, I'm going to start in Outlook. I'm sure you can all relate to working in Outlook. We've been doing this for a long time. Email is how we interact with each other. We share information, we ask questions of each other, we ask people to do things for us. Other people ask us to do things for them. Nobody goes home crying at the end of the day because they don't get enough email. How do we manage our email and how do we make it relevant to us? Now, I have a whole series on Shortcut Sherry's tips and tricks of how to manage your inbox. Be sure to check that out because I think it'll help you. The data that's been collected, if you move out of Microsoft Outlook using email and into Microsoft Teams, you can immediately cut your email by over 40%. Now, let's look at what we have in this inbox. It looks like there's a lot of activity around this hiking trip. So let's imagine that you're working together and you've got this hiking trip going on and everybody's emailing back and forth. Sometimes don't you just feel like, hey, can we just have a meeting on this and knock it out instead of going back and forth in email? Or maybe this is something that's coming up later. I might go over here and add a folder, call it the hiking trip. Click OK, and then start moving these over here. There's a lot of information and I need to have it all in one place so that I can get an idea of what's going on. So I'm just going to type in here hiking so I can see all of those emails and I'm going to move them all over to this folder. All right, all of that is consolidated now because I want to view it all in one place. And maybe it's not all relevant to me right now. Maybe this is a project that I'm working on that I just need to consolidate the conversation about this project into one spot. Let's not do this here. Why don't we do this in Teams? So Microsoft Teams does this by default, people. It compartmentalizes your conversations in context for what we need it for. So if I wanted to ask people about the holiday party, I'm going to start a conversation. What activities do you think would be fun for the holiday party? That's going to start a conversation. Now I'm going to pause the video here for 1 second. Just a little trick here. I've logged in a browser window as Amy Albert. If you remember, I invited Amy to the team to help me get it set up. Notice on the left-hand side, the holiday party has a bold option on it. That indicates there's been some activity there. So let's go ahead and click there. And Karen has asked the question about what would be fun for the holiday party. I'm going to have her click reply. So Amy has now replied. Now, as Karen, you see I turned on notifications. Karen is getting a notification letting me know that Amy has replied to my message. So remember, I'm still logged in as Karen here in the desktop version of Teams. So she's getting those desktop notifications. I'm just using this as an option to show you the interaction between people. Amy is in the browser. Other ways Amy could have acknowledged or worked within this conversation. Instead of even replying, sometimes we just need people to acknowledge that they've seen it. So here are some little emojis. Here's, I like it. I've seen this. I love it. So Amy has now reacted to my message in the holiday party. I'm laughing. I'm surprised. I'm sad. I'm mad. Or here's a bunch of other options for this particular thread. Save the message, copy a link, share it to Outlook. I have lots of other options here. Other ways that Amy could have replied, we have our text option. I could have attached a file. Let's say I had a brochure for something that would be fun for us to do. I could add a file. I could add additional emojis. So instead of just acknowledging the message, maybe I want to include an emoji in my text. I can do that here. We have GIFs. Of course, everybody loves these. The HR hair goes up on my neck though, people. Make sure that they're work appropriate. We have stickers. You wonder how people create all those memes? This is one of the places you can do this. Adds the memes. All right, we can start a video call. So if you've ever been chatting back and forth kind of on your phone, where you text back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, it's like, seriously, can we just talk? This is ridiculous. Right from here, I can start an ad hoc meeting if I need to. I can include a stream video. I can add a praise. I love these. We don't give enough praise to our coworkers. This is an awesome person. They showed leadership. They're a team player. Thank them. This is one place where you can give each other a pat on the back. Always click the little ... because there's other things in here that you could include if you needed to. Lots of ways to share in those conversations other than emailing back and forth. And so why is this important? The conversations are in the thread. They're in context. I can see the history of the thread. I'm not going to go in and say the same thing that somebody else already said because it's already been said. All I have to do is go over and acknowledge that or say, hey, I agree with this person. Everybody sees the information when it's relevant to them instead of when it's bombarded into their inbox. So conversations are a great way to consolidate the information that people need around a specific topic and keep it relevant. Now, here is a special trick for you. Right here, there's a tip that says, type @mention to mention someone. I'm going to @mention Karen. I'm going to tell her to stop by and grab some brochures that I have. This is going to draw Karen's attention to it specifically. So you'll see now my notification says Amy mentioned you. Thanks, Amy. I appreciate that. I'm going to go back to Karen. Notice over here now on my Teams icon, there's a little @ sign letting me know this is an @mention, meaning somebody has called your attention to it. Now, if you can imagine when you get hundreds of teams in here, some people I've seen, it's crazy how many teams they're a part of. All of that activity, all of those notifications can drive you a little bit crazy. By monitoring the activity feed, here are all those pop-up notifications that came up while we were working, which can get annoying, right? On my Teams, I had the little @ sign where it's like, oh, right here is my name. I've been @mentioned in this one. It marks it that I mentioned. I could literally just scroll through an entire conversation and see where I need to pay attention to it so I can focus my attention there. And if I don't want all of those notifications, I'm going to click here and say channel notifications. Right now it says all new posts, or if you're mentioned, banner and feed. I'm going to say only show in the feed. And for channel mentions, show in feed or banner and feed. So if they are mentioning me, I probably need to pay attention. So you need to come to an understanding with your coworkers that, hey, I got a lot going on. If you want me to pay attention to something, you best put an @mention in there for my name, and then you'll probably get to it quicker if they mention you. All right, so that's getting started with conversations in Teams. And the next video, I'm going to show you how to work with the files. Thanks for watching. I'm Shortcut Sherry, and it's my job to make your job easier.